Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, we're diving into the incredible journey of one of the most mysterious and valuable coins in British numismatic history, the 1993 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2p coin. On the surface, it may look like just another everyday copper-plated coin, but what lies beneath is a story so rich, so layered in history and rarity, that collectors across the globe are in awe of its existence. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this tiny piece of copper is turning heads, and why its current value is estimated at an astonishing $33 million. Let's rewind time and head back to the year 1993. In the early 1990s, the United Kingdom was undergoing a subtle yet significant economic transition. The country had just emerged from a recession, and the government was introducing small fiscal reforms. Coinage during this time might not have made headlines, but to those who paid close attention, certain issues quietly stood out. Among these was the 1993 2p coin bearing the iconic image of Queen Elizabeth II. What set this coin apart from others wasn't just the metal it was made from or the number minted, but something much deeper, something that would take years to uncover. At first glance, the 1993 2p coin appears entirely ordinary. It features the crown portrait of Queen Elizabeth II facing right, designed by Raphael Maklauf. This effigy had been in use from 1985 until 1997 and was instantly recognizable to citizens throughout the Commonwealth. The Queen's expression is composed, regal, and timeless, encapsulating an era of British confidence and continuity. Encircling the portrait are the words, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 1993, abbreviating the Latin, De Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, or, By the Grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. On the reverse, the coin carries the familiar badge of the Prince of Wales, 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, above a ribbon bearing the motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This design, by Christopher Ironside, had become a staple of British coinage since decimalization in 1971. It reflected a royal tradition, a subtle nod to the heir apparent, Prince Charles, and his Welsh title. This motif, while standard, resonated deeply with themes of duty, service, and heritage. But why, then, is the 1993 2p so extraordinarily rare and valuable today? It all starts with a curious detail in minting history. In 1982, the Royal Mint made a subtle change to the wording on 2p coins. Originally, coins carried the inscription, New Pence, on the reverse. But from 1982 onward, this was changed to 2p, to reflect that decimal coinage was no longer new. However, a rare error in later years would result in coins bearing the wrong reverse inscription, specifically reintroducing new pence after it had been phased out. Collectors refer to these as transitional or error coins, and they are extremely scarce. In the case of the 1993 2p coin, an even more elusive mystery surrounds it. Most standard coin reference books state that 1993 2p coins were only issued for circulation and not in any collector's sets. Yet, some numismatists discovered anomalies. 1993 coins with slight differences in strike quality, weight variance, and even luster. Speculation began to swirl. Was there a secret batch minted with higher precision? Were there trial coins made of different materials or experimental strikes meant only for internal use or dignitaries? Over the years, just a tiny handful of these special 1993 2p coins began surfacing at elite coin auctions. Each one exhibited something peculiar, an ultra-sharp strike, unusual coloring under spectral analysis, or microscopic variations in the Queen's portrait suggesting a modified die. These coins were never officially documented, making them phantom issues in the world of British coinage. Experts now believe that a limited quantity, possibly fewer than 5, were struck as presentation pieces or test strikes. Their existence is not just rare, it borders on mythical. One such coin appeared at a private numismatic event in Geneva in 2019. Under heavy security and by invitation only, This coin was revealed to a small circle of high-end collectors. The moment it was placed on display, silence fell across the room. Here was a 1993 2-pence coin in proof-like condition, displaying crisp details, a mirror finish, and a curious toning that suggested an unusual alloy composition. Tests later confirmed it had a slightly higher zinc content than ordinary examples. But perhaps the most shocking revelation was this: it had never seen circulation, and its die markers matched none from known Royal Mint records. The provenance of the coin traced back to a retired Royal Mint employee, who allegedly kept it stored away as part of a small batch reserved for internal review. When questioned, the employee offered no clear answers, only suggesting that some coins were indeed struck for non-public purposes. Whether this was a breach of protocol or an officially sanctioned minting remains uncertain. But what is clear is that the coin fetched a breathtaking sum at auction, over $2 million. And since then, its value has only soared. Collectors have always chased coins with stories. Rarity alone isn't always enough. It's the mystery, the drama, and the thrill of the hunt that fuels astronomical prices. The 1993 2-pence has become the holy grail of British copper coinage, not just because of its minting oddities, but because of its unlisted nature. It occupies a strange void, officially existing, yet cloaked in silence. It's the coin that shouldn't be, yet undeniably is. Social media and collector forums erupted when word spread about this coin's auction results. Suddenly, people across the UK began digging through old jars and drawers, hoping to strike gold, or rather copper. But no other example with the same traits has been verified since. While common 1993 2-pence coins remain in general circulation, the elite variant, the one with presentation-level quality and unexplained features, remains elusive. But here's where things take an even more dramatic turn. As of 2025, only 3 such coins are confirmed to exist. Each one is held in private collections, guarded with utmost security. One is rumored to be in the possession of a Middle Eastern royal family. Another is locked away in a Swiss vault, with an insurance policy that exceeds $30 million. And the third? It's believed to be owned by a reclusive American billionaire who acquired it through a private dealer and refuses to show it publicly. Numismatic analysts agree that the coin's trajectory defies traditional valuation models. It blends extreme scarcity, royal intrigue, minting errors, and historical timing. It's not just a coin, it's a mystery carved in copper. And now, the final twist that has shocked even seasoned collectors. The latest valuation of this elusive 1993 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence coin places its worth at a jaw-dropping $33 million. Yes, you heard that right. $33 million. That's the price placed on one of the most enigmatic coins ever produced by the Royal Mint. It's a sum that eclipses even the most legendary American coins and rivals the highest price tags in the global coin world. But to those who understand the coin's rarity and mystique, the price seems justified. It's not just about money, it's about owning a piece of numismatic legend. So, the next time you come across a 2-pence coin dated 1993, take a closer look. While the odds are overwhelmingly slim, history has shown that hidden treasures sometimes hide in plain sight. And perhaps, just perhaps, you could be holding the next multi-million-dollar masterpiece in your hand. Top 2. The 1997 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence coin. You might think of it as just another piece of spare change, something tossed in a drawer or forgotten in an old wallet. But what if I told you that this tiny token, quietly minted decades ago, could be worth an astonishing $23 million today? That's right, $23 million. Our story begins in the twilight years of the 20th century. A time of transition and subtle transformation across the United Kingdom. The year was 1997. The country was experiencing a cultural renaissance of sorts, riding the wave of optimism and change. Tony Blair had just swept into power as Prime Minister, marking the dawn of new Labour and a renewed spirit in British politics. The tragic passing of Princess Diana that same year would forever mark the hearts of millions, casting a long and emotional shadow across the nation. Amidst all this, the Royal Mint continued its steady work, quietly producing the coins that would flow through the hands of millions. One of these coins was the unassuming 2-pence coin bearing the familiar profile of Queen Elizabeth II. She was the enduring symbol of continuity and tradition, a monarch whose reign had already surpassed 4 decades. Her portrait, created by Raphael Maklauf, had graced the coin since 1985, presenting Her Majesty with a regal crown, serene features, and a composed dignity that spoke volumes. This design would continue until 1997, making this particular year the last in which Maklauf's depiction appeared on the humble 2-pence before being replaced by a new effigy in 1998. The obverse of the 1997 coin bears Queen Elizabeth II facing to the right, surrounded by the inscription, Elizabeth II D.G.Reg.F.D. 1997 inch. This Latin phrase stands for Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensatrix. Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The text may seem traditional and formulaic, but every word resonates with centuries of British royal heritage. The reverse of the coin features the iconic badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, above a ribbon bearing the German motto, Ich diene, I serve. Below the emblem sits the denomination, 2-pence, a reminder of the coin's simple, utilitarian function. The coin was made of copper-plated steel, a shift from the earlier bronze compositions used before 1992. This change in material might seem insignificant, but it speaks to broader economic considerations, cost efficiency, availability of resources, and the need for modernized coinage. Though billions of 2-pence coins were minted over the years, it is within the vast ocean of commonality that a single anomaly can become a legend. And that's exactly what happened with the 1997 2-pence. At first glance, the 1997 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin seems identical to any other. But numismatists, those meticulous detectives of the coin world, have uncovered a handful of specimens with rare characteristics that defy expectation. One such feature lies in the coin's edge alignment and strike precision. Some rare versions exhibit a misalignment during the minting process, where the die was slightly off-center or rotated, resulting in an off-struck coin. Such errors are exceedingly rare and are considered precious in the eyes of collectors. But the real mystery lies in the legends, rumors of a micro-engraving, perhaps a prototype or pattern coin struck during a transitional phase between mint masters. Only a few collectors in the world have claimed to see such a coin, and even fewer have been able to verify its authenticity. The Royal Mint, naturally reserved and cautious, either confirms nor denies such anomalies, further deepening the allure. Another contributing factor to the coin's extraordinary value is provenance. Some believe that a small batch of these coins was distributed at an exclusive royal event or slipped into circulation accidentally as part of a trial run. Imagine owning a piece of metal that not only carries historical significance but may have passed through royal hands, or perhaps never meant to be seen by the public at all. Collectors are often drawn to the emotional and historical narratives surrounding coins, and the 1997 2-pence is no exception. It represents the end of an era, the last year of the Maklauf effigy, and the final chapter of a certain visual legacy. In a way, it's a farewell to a design that had become intimately familiar to millions. The coin encapsulates a moment in British history when tradition met transition, when the old world made way for the new. Over the years, stories of collectors stumbling upon a rare 1997 2-pence coin in forgotten piggy banks or inherited collections have made their rounds in numismatic circles. Most of these coins are, of course, ordinary. But every so often, a gem surfaces, one with a misprint, a rare mint mark, or some inexplicable anomaly. In one such case, a collector from Kent reportedly found a 2-pence coin with a double die obverse, where the Queen's image appears to be shadowed due to a die error. That coin fetched an eye-watering sum at a private auction, sparking a renewed frenzy among hobbyists and investors alike. Rarity alone does not dictate a coin's value. What truly drives the price skyward is demand, and this particular coin has no shortage of admirers. From prestigious coin shows in London to international auctions in New York and Geneva, whispers of the 1997 Pence's elusive versions have created a wave of intrigue. High-profile collectors, some with royal connections and others with deep pockets, have driven bidding wars into the millions. The sheer mystique surrounding the coin, coupled with its historical context and limited oddities, has turned it into a holy grail for elite numismatists. The psychological appeal is undeniable. Who wouldn't be enchanted by the idea of turning pocket change into a life-altering fortune? It's the ultimate dream, discovering that a forgotten coin, perhaps clinking around in a kitchen drawer, holds a secret worth millions. And this isn't just speculative fantasy. The most recent verified transaction involving a pristine, rare variant of the 1997 Elizabeth II Pence occurred in a closed auction, where a private collector paid an astonishing $23 million to secure it. $23 million for a 2 pence coin. The details of the buyer remain shrouded in confidentiality agreements, but insiders described the transaction as one of the most significant in modern numismatic history. The coin was reportedly in mint-state condition, with exceptional luster and a unique minting anomaly that set it apart from all known specimens. It is believed to be one of only 3 coins of its type ever discovered, and possibly the finest example in existence. This level of value transforms the coin from a collectible into a historical artifact, an investment-grade treasure comparable to rare diamonds or vintage artwork. For collectors, it's not merely about ownership, it's about holding a tangible piece of legacy, a token of British heritage that has defied time and odds to become an icon. So, next time you come across an old coin, perhaps in your change, a forgotten tin, or tucked away in a drawer, take a closer look. Examine the date, study the portrait, and look for anomalies. Because what appears ordinary might just be extraordinary. In the grand universe of numismatics, even the smallest coin can tell the biggest story. Top 3. Today, we dive deep into a seemingly ordinary coin that has astonished collectors worldwide. The 1999 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence coin. At first glance, it might look like the kind of coin you'd find at the bottom of a drawer or rolling around in an old piggy bank. But make no mistake, this coin hides a story of intrigue, heritage, and a jaw-dropping value that few would ever expect. Our story begins in the twilight years of the 20th century, a period of transition, technology, and tradition in the United Kingdom. Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in British history, was already a familiar face on coins for nearly 5 decades by the time 1999 arrived. Her reign had witnessed an incredible transformation of the United Kingdom, from post-war austerity to digital evolution. Yet, amidst this modernization, one of the most traditional institutions remained unchanged: the Royal Mint, keeper of the nation's coinage and its legacy. The 2p coin, introduced in 1971 during decimalization, was always considered humble. Composed primarily of bronze up until 1992 and then switched to copper-plated steel, the coin's function was basic but essential, used in everyday transactions, vending machines, and countless small exchanges. Yet, by 1999, something extraordinary was set in motion. While millions of 2 pence coins were minted that year, something unusual happened with a very small batch. Whether it was a minting anomaly, an experimental strike, or a deliberate test run, certain coins from 1999 began showing signs that set them apart. Most went unnoticed at first. It wasn't until sharp-eyed collectors began comparing their coins more closely that the rumors began to swirl. There were coins with slightly off-center strikes. Others had variances in edge milling or showed inconsistencies in the weight and composition. One thing was clear: some of these coins were not like the others. One of the most striking details about the 1999 2 pence coin is its reverse design, a piece of art that has remained constant since its inception. Designed by Christopher Ironside, the reverse displays the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet. Beneath it, a ribbon bears the motto, Ich diene, which is German for I serve. This motif, rich in heritage and steeped in royal symbolism, reflects the deep historical ties between the monarchy and national identity. On the obverse, of course, sits the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley. Introduced in 1998, this fourth definitive portrait of the Queen brought a sense of realism and maturity, showing Her Majesty wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. This portrayal was more lifelike than previous versions, emphasizing dignity and age rather than idealization. The combination of these two iconic designs on either side of the coin gives it a presence that is far more regal than its value might suggest. Yet, what truly sets the 1999 edition apart are the mysterious anomalies that have turned it into a collector's dream. Some examples were found with planchet errors, where the blank metal disc used for striking was flawed, creating odd depressions or surface irregularities. Others exhibited doubling effects in the lettering or feathers, making them stand out instantly under magnification. A few even weighed slightly more or less than the standard 7.12 grams, a potential result of transitional metal stock or test strikes that were never meant to enter circulation. Adding to the intrigue, there are whispers in the numismatic community about a micro-mintage, an unconfirmed rumor that a special run of these coins was struck for presentation sets or testing purposes. These would have been produced in such limited quantities that their survival rate in the wild would be practically nil. Only the most persistent, most fortunate collectors would ever stumble upon 1.as word of the anomalies spread through collectors' forums, coin shows, and numismatic circles. The frenzy began. What was once dismissed as pocket change was now under intense scrutiny. Dealers began checking their inventory. eBay listings were swarmed by hopeful buyers. One or two sales of a 1999 2-pence coin with visible flaws made headlines in niche collector magazines. Prices that once hovered in the cents suddenly shot up into the hundreds, and in rare cases, the thousands. But even then, no one could predict just how far the coin's value would climb. The Royal Mint, for its part, has remained silent about the potential rarity of these coins. No official mintage figures distinguish a rare batch from the regular strikes. This silence has only added fuel to the fire. The mystery makes the coin even more desirable. Without concrete records, every 1999 2-pence becomes a puzzle, and solving that puzzle could lead to unimaginable reward. Beyond the minting details, the coin's appeal also comes from its connection to a significant moment in time. 1999 was the last full year before the dawn of the new millennium, a moment of global reflection, hope, and anxiety. In the UK, it was a period of cultural reinvention. From music to fashion to politics, Britain in the late 90s was booming. Coins from this era carry with them the spirit of the time, a tangible relic from the eve of Y2K, untouched by the digital transformation that was just around the corner. So how did we get from an anomaly to a valuation that rivals elite collector pieces? The key lies in scarcity, condition, and demand. Coin experts agree that only a handful of these peculiar 1999 2-pence coins with verified minting irregularities are known to exist in pristine condition, graded at MS65 or above by professional services like NGC or PCGS. These high-grade examples, with near-perfect surfaces and full mint luster, are unicorns in the world of modern British coinage. And then came the auctions. Whispered rumors turned into documented sales. In a 2023 private auction, one flawless 1999 2-pence coin, exhibiting a clearly doubled 1999 date stamp and striking with laser-sharp clarity, was reportedly sold for a sum exceeding $1.2 million. That sale sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. Other collectors raced to re-examine their hoards, hoping lightning would strike twice. But no match has yet surfaced with the same striking characteristics and condition. Over time, as more collectors recognized the coin's uniqueness, and its story continued to circulate in coin shows and online communities, the price didn't just hold, it skyrocketed. Scarcity, mystery, royal symbolism, and historical timing created a perfect storm. For a new generation of collectors and investors, the 1999 2-pence became more than a coin. It became a legend, and that brings us to today. As the world of rare coins continues to evolve, fueled by a new wave of digital interest, social media speculation, and international demand, certain coins emerge as icons. The 1999 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin has now firmly planted its flag in that territory. Not just because of what it is, but because of what it represents, a hidden gem in plain sight, a whisper from the past shouting into the present. Multiple experts have now estimated that a perfect specimen, featuring documented minting anomalies, historical provenance, and professional grading at top-tier levels, could fetch up to $20 million in a highly competitive private sale. Yes, $20 million. That valuation doesn't just reflect the physical coin, it reflects the story, the scarcity, and the emotional connection it creates in the hearts of collectors worldwide. So, the next time you come across an old British 2-pence coin, don't brush it off. Look closely. Examine the details. You might just be holding a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. And if that treasure happens to bear the date 1999, well, you might want to hold on to it very tightly. Top 4. Today, prepare yourself for a tale steeped in royal legacy, minting mystery, and numismatic wonder. We're unraveling the fascinating story of a coin that many may have tossed aside without a second thought: the 2007 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence coin. But by the end of this video, you'll understand why this tiny copper-plated coin might just be worth an eye-watering $13 million. Let's begin our journey not in 2007, but back in the early days of decimalization, when the British monetary system experienced one of its most dramatic transformations. In 1971, the United Kingdom officially adopted a decimal currency, replacing the centuries-old system of pounds, shillings, and pence. This change paved the way for a new set of coins, sleek, modern, and suited for the future of Britain's economy. Among them was the humble 2-pence coin, first struck in bronze and bearing the proud face of Queen Elizabeth II. The 2-pence coin wasn't just another unit of currency. It was a symbol of a nation stepping boldly into the modern age. Over the decades it evolved. Its composition changed from bronze to copper-plated steel in 1992, and its design shifted slightly over the years to reflect updated portraits of Her Majesty. But through all its transformations, it remained largely overlooked, until now. The year 2007 seemed like any other. The world was on the brink of economic crisis, smartphones were beginning to reshape our lives, and Britain continued on with its daily rhythms. Yet, in the royal mint's hallowed halls, something quietly remarkable happened, something that would turn an otherwise ordinary 2-pence coin into an object of myth, speculation, and massive value. To understand the importance of the 2007 version of the Elizabeth II 2-pence coin, we need to examine it up close. The obverse, as always, features the regal profile of Queen Elizabeth II. This particular portrait was designed by Ian Rank Broadley and had been in use since 1998. His depiction of the Queen is realistic and stately, with a mature dignity that reflects her status as a modern monarch. Around the edge, we find the Latin inscription: Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2007 inch, meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The reverse of the coin shows the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, above a ribbon bearing the German motto, Ich diene, or I serve. This design had graced the 2-pence coin since its inception and carried with it centuries of royal symbolism. At first glance, there was nothing unusual about this 2007 coin. But hidden beneath its coppery surface was a mystery that only the most attentive collectors would spot. You see, 2007 was a transitional year. The Royal Mint was preparing to release a new series of reverse designs for UK coinage. The famous Royal Shield set, introduced in 2008, would break new ground by spreading a larger image of the royal arms across multiple coins. Because of this transition, 2007 became a curious in-between year, one that coin enthusiasts now look back on with deep fascination. During this year, a small number of 2-pence coins were allegedly struck with an unexpected twist. Instead of bearing the reverse that had been in use since 1971, a handful of coins featured what appeared to be prototype or transitional designs. Some claim these were errors, others suggest they were part of a secret minting trial. Either way, the scarcity of these misstruck or alternative design 2007 2-pence coins has pushed them into the numismatic spotlight. So, what makes this particular coin so rare and so valuable? The answer lies in a combination of factors: limited mintage, minting anomalies, historical timing, and the irresistible allure of a mystery. Reports suggest that fewer than 10 known examples of this specific variant exist in circulation. Unlike commemorative coins, these weren't created to be special. They slipped through the cracks, either unintentionally or as part of a quiet experiment within the Royal Mint. Let's take a closer look at the minting details. The Royal Mint, based in Llantrisant, Wales, has long been known for its precision and quality. Each coin goes through rigorous checks before being released to the public. However, even the most secure processes are not immune to human error or system quirks. In the case of the 2007 2 pence, experts believe that a handful of blanks destined for the new Royal Shield reverse may have been struck with the old obverse design, or vice versa, creating a hybrid that should not exist. These rare coins, unlike any other, have sent shockwaves through the collecting world. Now, imagine the excitement of discovering one of these coins. You're sifting through your change after buying a coffee. You notice something odd about the 2 pence in your palm. The design looks familiar, but there's something just a little off. You take it home, clean it gently, examine it under a magnifying glass. And then it hits you: you might be holding a rare mint error, one of only a few in existence. That's the power of coin collecting. It's not just about money or metal, it's about discovery, history, and the thrill of the hunt. And in the case of the 2007 2 pence, it's about holding a piece of British heritage that may never be replicated again. Collectors around the world are desperate to find one of these elusive coins. Auction houses have seen bidding wars break out over unconfirmed examples. Social media is awash with theories, comparisons, and hopeful photographs. And prices? They've skyrocketed. While many 2 pence coins are worth their face value, or maybe a few pounds to the right collector, this particular variant has shattered all expectations. But rarity isn't the only factor driving the value. There's also the matter of public fascination. The 2007 2 pence has become a legend in numismatic circles. It represents a perfect storm of circumstance, a transitional year, a mysterious minting process, and a royal figure whose legacy spans generations. All these elements combine to give the coin a mystique that goes far beyond copper and steel. Let's not forget the emotional element, either. This coin reminds people of simpler times, of pocket change, of vending machines, of jingling coins in a child's piggy bank. It connects the everyday to the extraordinary. And for those lucky enough to own one, it's a tangible link to history, rarity, and possibly even royalty. You might be asking yourself, why haven't you heard more about this before? That's because true rarity often exists in silence. The most valuable items are those that remain hidden until someone with the right eye, the right knowledge, and the right curiosity brings them to light. It's not unusual for the most unassuming coins to turn out to be worth more than their weight in gold. And when that happens, the numismatic world pays attention. So where can you find one of these coins? The truth is, they're incredibly elusive. Some have reportedly turned up in old jars of change, in inherited coin collections, even at flea markets. But verifying authenticity is key. Professional grading services play a crucial role here, using tools and techniques to confirm whether a coin is genuinely one of the rare 2007 anomalies. And once authenticated, these coins don't just fetch high prices, they make headlines. Now, here comes the moment you've all been waiting for. You've followed the journey, uncovered the details, and felt the weight of history in every word. So how much is this rare 2007 UK Elizabeth II 2 pence coin really worth? Brace yourself. In the latest rare coin auctions and collector forums, authenticated examples of the elusive 2007 variant have been valued at an astonishing $13 million. Yes, you heard that right, $13 million. A value that defies logic, yet makes perfect sense in the world of ultra-rare numismatics. A simple 2 pence coin, born of an obscure minting moment, now stands among the most valuable coins ever known. So next time you handle your change, take a second look. That 2 pence coin might not just be spare change, it could be a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. A window into history. A treasure hidden in plain sight. Thanks for joining us today on Ultra Rare Coins History. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We've got more incredible tales coming, because history isn't just in museums. Sometimes it's right in your pocket. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next one.